You see, every morning, you're making a silent decision before your feet even touch the floor. You're deciding who's going to run the day, you or the day itself. And let me tell you, if the day runs you, it's not going to take you where you want to go. Most people get up just in time to rush, react, and recover from yesterday. But the successful, they get up in time to prepare, to plan, and to position themselves ahead of the game. And that's no accident. That's strategy. I learned early on, wealth, success, and influence aren't built in the big moments. They're built in the small, consistent choices. And the first choice of the day is the most important. How will you start? Your morning is the architect of your day. And your days are the architects of your life. Start poorly, and you're already in a hole. Start powerfully, and you're already halfway to the win before lunch. So in this session, I'm going to take you inside the exact kind of morning that builds a millionaire mindset, not just in money, but in discipline, focus, and character. We'll talk about how to prime your mind, fuel your body, and set your compass before the world even wakes up. Don't think of this as just a routine. Think of it as the foundation for everything you want to be, do, and have. Because if you can win the morning, you can win the day. And if you can win the day consistently, you can win your life. So let's get started. Tomorrow morning begins right now. The decision to wake with purpose. I want you to think about this. Every morning, before your eyes even open, life gives you a choice. You can wake up by accident, or you can wake up on purpose. And the difference between those two choices, it's the difference between a day that builds your future and a day that steals it. You see, most people don't decide their morning. They stumble into it. The alarm rings, they hit the snooze button once, twice, sometimes 3 times. By the time they finally get up, they're already behind. They're rushing, reacting, apologizing, catching up. And if that's how you start the day, you've already surrendered control. But here's the truth. Wealth, success, influence, they don't start in the stock market, the office, or the boardroom. They start in the first few minutes after you open your eyes. That's when you set the tone, when you take command, when you choose how you're going to show up for your life. Now, waking with purpose doesn't just mean getting out of bed earlier. No, it means getting out of bed decided about who you are, decided about what you're building, decided about why you're here. Because if you don't decide, the world will decide for you. And trust me, the world's plan for you is nowhere near as good as the plan you could design for yourself. I remember learning this lesson early in my career. Back then, I thought success was about talent, or luck, or maybe some secret formula the wealthy kept hidden. But then I noticed something. The people I admired didn't just have better habits, they had better mornings. They didn't wake up wondering what the day might bring. They woke up deciding what they were going to bring to the day. And here's the interesting part. Waking with purpose is a skill. It's something you can train. At first, it might feel forced. You might be tempted to go back to the comfortable habit of just waking up. But give it time. Purpose becomes a habit, just like anything else. And once it does, it will change your life. So how do you make this decision to wake with purpose? Let me give you a few steps. Step 1, decide tonight. Don't wait until morning to decide what kind of morning you'll have. Make the decision before you go to bed. Write down your top 3 priorities for the next day. Visualize yourself waking up alert, grateful, and ready. When the morning comes, you won't have to debate. You'll already be committed. Step 2, give the first minutes to you. Before you check your phone, before you check your email, check yourself. Ask, what's my mission today? Who do I want to be when this day ends? Those first 5 minutes can set the tone for the next 15 hours. Step 3, connect to your why. Purpose needs fuel, and that fuel is your reason. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's the dream of doing work that matters. Remind yourself out loud why you're getting up. Speak it until it feels real, because it is. Step 4, act immediately. Don't linger in bed negotiating with your comfort zone. Your body listens to your mind, but your mind also listens to your body. If you want to send the message, I am in charge, then prove it by moving right away. When you do this, something powerful happens. You stop feeling like life is happening to you, and you start feeling like life is happening for you. You stop waiting for a better time and start creating better time. You replace chaos with clarity, distraction with direction. And here's the magic. Once you train yourself to wake with purpose, you'll notice your days becoming more productive, your mind becoming sharper, your decisions becoming stronger. You'll start finishing each day with that satisfying feeling that you invested your time well. And that's a habit worth protecting. Now, don't misunderstand me. This doesn't mean every morning will be perfect. You'll have days where the alarm feels too early, the motivation feels too low, and the bed feels too warm. But that's when you lean on discipline. Not feeling. Purpose isn't about comfort. Purpose is about calling. So starting tomorrow, better yet, starting tonight, make the decision. Say it to yourself. When the morning comes, I will rise with intention. I will not stumble into my day. I will step into it like it belongs to me, because it does. Remember, success is not a mystery. It's a series of decisions, and one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make is the one you make the moment you wake. Mind before movement, feeding the inner world. First, I want you to picture this. It's early morning. The world outside is still quiet. You've just woken up with purpose. Now, before you move your body, before you rush to the kitchen or the car, there's one thing we need to do: feed the mind. Why? Because your mind is the command center. It's the pilot seat of your life. And if you don't give it the right instructions first thing, it will run the day on whatever leftover programming it had from yesterday, or worse, from years ago. Most people feed the body before they feed the mind. They grab coffee, toast, maybe scroll the phone while eating breakfast. And what's the first thing they consume? Bad news, gossip, social media arguments. No wonder their day starts shaky. They've opened the front door of their mind and let the wrong guests walk in before they even knew who was knocking. The wealthy, the successful, the fulfilled, they do it differently. They understand that before you move your body, you must direct your mind. That means we don't just wake up, we tune in. Here's why it matters. The first thoughts of your day have more influence than you realize. They set your mood, shape your perspective, and act like a filter for every experience you're about to have. If those first thoughts are small, worried, or negative, then every opportunity you see will be filtered through fear. But if those first thoughts are big, hopeful, and purposeful, then even a small opportunity looks worth pursuing. So how do we feed the mind first thing? Let me walk you through it. Step 1, start with gratitude. Before your feet hit the floor, think of 3 things, big or small, that you're thankful for. It could be your health, your home, your family, or even the chance to try again today. Gratitude shifts your mind from what's missing to what's working. And trust me, opportunity lives in the place called what's working. Step 2, review your vision. If you don't have a written vision for your life, start today. And if you do, review it every morning. Remind yourself where you're going and why. The morning is when you set your compass. Don't leave the house without knowing which way is north. Step 3, read or listen to something worthwhile. 15 to 20 minutes of quality reading in the morning can change the entire trajectory of your day. A page of philosophy, a chapter from a personal development book, a verse from scripture, something that lifts your thinking. The goal is to plant seeds of wisdom before the world plants weeds of distraction. Step 4, speak to yourself on purpose. Now, I'm not talking about mumbling random phrases. I mean intentional self-talk. Statements like, I am focused, I am disciplined, I am building something great today. Remember, the words you speak to yourself early will echo all day long. When you feed the mind before movement, you're doing more than just preparing for the day. You're training yourself to be the leader of your thoughts, not the follower of your feelings. And that leadership compounds over time. I learned this lesson the hard way. In my early years, I let the day start by accident. The phone would ring, someone would need something, and I'd be off. Rushed, reactive, no plan, no center. And the more I lived like that, the more I felt like I was working in my life instead of on my life. Then I flipped the script. I started giving my mind the first slice of the day. And what happened? I became more intentional. I spotted opportunities faster. I handled problems with more calm. I didn't just react to the day. I created the day. And that's what I want for you. Because here's the truth. Your body can run on autopilot, but your mind can't. If you don't take charge of it in the morning, someone else will. So tomorrow, when you wake with purpose, don't rush straight into the doing. Start with the thinking. Start with the believing. Start with the deciding. Feed your inner world before you face the outer one. Remember this rule. The mind leads. The body follows. And if your mind starts in the right place, your feet will walk you into the right places all day long. The quiet hour, guarding your mental gates. Let me tell you something I learned long ago. The first hour of your day is either a fortress or an open gate. And if you don't guard it, the wrong things will march right in and take command before you've even had breakfast. We call this the quiet hour. It's that sacred block of time right after you wake with purpose, right after you've fed your mind. When you keep the outside world outside. No news, no notifications, no demands from someone else's agenda. Just you, your thoughts, your focus, and your direction. Most people don't have a quiet hour. They have a chaotic hour. They wake up, check their phone, and in seconds, they're flooded. Bad news from across the world. A text from someone who needs something. Social media posts that pull them into comparison. And without even realizing it, their mind has been hijacked. Here's the truth. The mind is most open, most impressionable in the morning. That's why you've got to guard the gates. You wouldn't let strangers walk into your home without knocking. So why would you let strangers' opinions, fears, and arguments walk into your head before you've even had a chance to think your own thoughts? The quiet hour is about protecting your mental state, so you can design the day instead of defend it. Let me give you a few keys to guarding your mental gates in that first hour. Key 1. Keep it device-free. Your phone is a portal to every distraction in the world. If you pick it up first thing, you've already lost the advantage. Leave it on the charger. Let the world wait an hour. It will still be there. Key 2. Choose your inputs carefully. This is not the time for the news, gossip, or debates. This is the time for reading something uplifting, writing in your journal, or simply sitting in thought. Remember, what you let in will determine what comes out. Key 3. Create a ritual. Have a consistent practice that anchors you. Maybe it's 20 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of meditation, or a short walk in silence. The point is to train your mind that this is my hour, and treat it like an appointment you never miss. Key 4. Use the time to think. We live in a world where thinking time is rare. Everyone's reacting, but few are reflecting. Use this hour to ask yourself, what's my priority today? How can I solve the challenges I'm facing? What's the next step toward my bigger vision? Now I know what you might be thinking. Jim, I don't have an hour. We'll start with 20 minutes. Guard that time like gold. And here's what will happen. The more you protect it, the more value you'll see in it, and the more you'll want to expand it. When I first started this habit, it felt strange. I was so used to letting the world in right away. But once I experienced the clarity, the calm, and the focus that came from protecting my first hour, I realized I'd been giving away my most valuable mental real estate for free. And that was costing me opportunities I didn't even know I was missing. Because here's the reality. Your mind has a limited supply of decision-making power each day. If you let other people's noise consume it early, you'll have less energy for your own priorities later. But if you protect your mental gates, you can give your best thinking to your best work. The quiet hour is not about isolation. It's about preparation. It's not about ignoring the world. It's about meeting the world on your terms, not theirs. So tomorrow morning, before you let the outside world in, ask yourself, who's in charge of my mental gates today? Me or the noise? And make sure the answer is you. Remember, a quiet mind in the morning creates a powerful mind all day. Guard the gates, and you'll guard your future. Body in motion. The energy investment. Now that you've woken with purpose, now that you've fed your mind, now that you've guarded your mental gates, it's time for the next pillar of the Millionaire morning, getting your body in motion. I call this an energy investment because that's exactly what it is. Every minute you give to your body in the morning is like depositing energy, focus, and stamina into your account for the rest of the day. Most people treat their body like a second thought. They pour in caffeine before they've poured in oxygen. They demand performance without paying the price of preparation. And then they wonder why. By 2 p.m., they're dragging through the day. But the successful understand something. Your body is the vehicle that carries your vision. If you want to drive far and fast in life, you've got to keep the engine tuned. Now, I'm not saying you have to train like an Olympic athlete. You don't need hours in the gym. What you do need is movement, daily, intentional, energizing movement that wakes up every part of you. Let me give you a few principles for making this a habit. Principle 1. Move early. The sooner you get your body moving after waking, the sooner you kickstart your circulation, oxygen flow, and mental clarity. Even 10-15 minutes can make a difference. It might be stretching, a brisk walk, some push-ups, or a quick yoga routine. The point is to tell your body, it's time to perform. Principle 2. Make it manageable. You don't have to set world records. In fact, if your routine is so intense that you dread it, you won't sustain it. Start with something you can commit to every day, then build from there. Remember, consistency beats intensity. Principle 3. Connect it to your mindset. This isn't just physical. Use your movement time to think, to visualize, to set your intention. The body in motion has a way of opening up the mind. Ideas flow easier. Solutions seem clearer. That's not an accident. Movement literally changes your state. Principle 4. Hydrate and fuel wisely. Don't undo your good work with poor fuel. Start with water to wake up your system. Then choose breakfast like you choose your thoughts. Something that supports your energy, not drains it. I remember in my early years, I treated my body like it could run forever on enthusiasm alone. But I learned quickly without energy, even the best intentions collapse by midday. You can have the greatest plan, the clearest goals, the sharpest strategy. But if your body can't carry you through the day, you'll quit before you win. That's why movement is not optional. It's essential. And when you start your day by moving your body, you're sending a powerful signal to yourself. I am ready. I am strong. I am capable. And here's the hidden benefit. You don't just gain physical energy, you gain confidence. Something changes in your posture, your voice, your presence, when you've honored your body in the morning. You carry yourself differently, and the world responds to that. So here's my challenge. Tomorrow morning, put your body in motion before the demands of the day put you in a chair. Do something, anything that increases your heart rate, loosens your muscles, and wakes up your mind. Because here's the truth. Motion creates momentum, and momentum is one of the most valuable assets in life. Once you start moving, it's easier to keep moving. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and in every area of your life. So remember, the energy you invest in your body each morning pays dividends all day long. Treat it like the non-negotiable it is, and your mornings will no longer just start, they'll launch. Reading and reviewing, mentors in your morning. Now that your body is awake, your mind is sharp, and your focus is guarded, it's time to bring in the voices of wisdom. This is the part of the morning where you sit down with your mentors, even if they've been gone for 100 years. That's the power of books, recordings, and written words. They allow you to have breakfast with the greatest minds in history without ever leaving your kitchen. And here's what I discovered. If you read the right words in the morning, they will echo in your mind all day long. Most people start their day with the noise of the world. Headlines, social media, gossip. But the successful, they start with the voices of those who've walked the path ahead of them. They feed their thinking before the world feeds their fears. Now let me give you the heart of this habit. Reading in the morning is not just about learning. It's about aligning your thoughts with your goals, aligning your mindset with success principles, aligning your spirit with wisdom that has stood the test of time. I want you to think of reading as a conversation. When you open a book, you're saying to the author, teach me what you know, show me what you've seen, lend me your experience so I can avoid your mistakes and build on your victories. Here's how I recommend you approach this practice. Step 1. Choose your mentors carefully. Don't just read anything. Read what will build you. This could be biographies of great leaders, personal development classics, books on finance, philosophy, or faith. Fill your mental library with voices that make you stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. Step 2. Keep it focused. You don't need to read for hours. Even 15-20 minutes of focused, undistracted reading can change the trajectory of your day. It's not the volume, it's the quality and application that counts. Step 3. Review your own notes. This is just as important as reading new material. Go back over what you've already learned. Revisit your highlights and notes. Success isn't built on what you read once. It's built on what you read until it becomes part of you. Step 4. Apply one idea. Immediately. Don't just collect wisdom. Use it. If you read a principle that resonates, ask yourself, how can I apply this before the day ends? This is how knowledge turns into results. When I began this practice, it amazed me how often something I read in the morning would prepare me for a conversation or decision later that same day. It's almost as if the right idea shows up exactly when you need it, if you give it the chance to arrive. And here's something else. Reading in the morning creates a kind of mental authority. You step into the day with ideas bigger than your current situation. You're not reacting from yesterday's limitations. You're acting from today's inspiration. Remember, in the absence of intentional learning, you will be shaped by accidental influences. The world will fill your mind with whatever is loudest, not whatever is best. That's why you have to choose your mentors before the world chooses them for you. So tomorrow morning, make space for this. Sit down, book in hand, notebook beside you, and invite a great mind into your morning. Let them challenge you. Let them inspire you. Let them sharpen your thinking before the day dulls it. Because here's the truth. Leaders are readers, and readers become leaders. And if you read and review every morning, you'll soon find yourself not just following the wisdom of others, but living in a way that makes your life worth reading about. Planning the day, the blueprint before the building. Think of your day like a building. If you showed up to a construction site with no blueprint, no plan, and no measurements, you'd end up with a crooked, unstable structure. if you built anything at all. Yet that's exactly how most people approach their day. They wake up, maybe have an idea or two floating around, and then let the day decide where their time goes. And by evening, they wonder why nothing important got done. Here's the truth. A day without a plan is a day at the mercy of distraction. And if you let distraction set your schedule, you'll trade what matters most for what matters least. Every single time. The successful don't live that way. They understand that a productive day doesn't just happen, it's designed. They build it before they live it. They start with a blueprint, and the best time to create that blueprint, before the day begins. Ideally, the night before, or at the very least, first thing in the morning. Let me walk you through how to do it. Step 1. Identify the big 3. Every day should have 3 main priorities. 3 wins that, if accomplished, will make you feel the day was a success. Not 30 things, not a to-do list, as long as your arm. Just 3. Why? Because focus creates progress, and progress creates momentum. Step 2. Put them in order. Not all tasks are created equal. Ask yourself, if I could only get one thing done today, which one would have the biggest impact? That becomes priority 1. Work on it first, when your energy and focus are at their highest. Step 3. Block the time. Don't just hope to get around to it. Assign your priorities a specific time slot. If you don't schedule it, the world will fill that time for you. Step 4. Anticipate the obstacles. Every plan faces resistance. Think ahead. What could get in your way? How will you handle it? A strong plan includes both the steps forward and the strategies for handling detours. Step 5. Review and adjust. At the end of the day, look back at your plan. Did you follow it? Did it work? What will you do differently tomorrow? Planning is not a one-time act. It's a skill you refine daily. I can't tell you how many people I've met who are busy all day, yet accomplish nothing of real value. That's because they mistake movement for progress. But here's the difference. Progress is the result of moving in a planned direction. When I began my own journey, I didn't understand this. I'd fill my days with activity, meetings, calls, errands, and at the end I felt exhausted. But I wasn't advancing toward my goals. My calendar was full, but my blueprint was empty. Once I started designing my days, really taking a few minutes each morning to outline exactly what I wanted to build, the change was remarkable. I felt more in control. My work had direction. And little by little, my daily wins began stacking into weekly wins, monthly wins, and eventually, a life I was proud of. So here's my challenge to you. Before you build the day, draw the blueprint. Don't wait for spare time to plan. It's not spare, it's sacred. And remember, success is rarely the result of a single massive effort. It's the sum of small, well-planned actions repeated over time. Your blueprint is the guide that keeps those actions aligned with your vision. Tomorrow morning, sit down, pen, paper, or planner in hand, and design the day you want to live. Then live it. Because if you can build one good day, you can build another. And if you can build enough good days in a row, you can build a future most people only dream about. Affirmations and self-talk. Programming the mind for wealth. Let me share something I've learned over the years. The most important conversation you have each day is the one you have with yourself. You can plan the perfect day, you can guard your quiet hour, you can move your body, feed your mind, and set your priorities. But if the voice inside your head is full of doubt, criticism, and limitation, you'll sabotage your own progress before you even start. That's why affirmations and intentional self-talk are such a powerful part of the Millionaire Morning. They're not just positive thinking, they're mental programming. They're the way you tell your mind, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, this is what I expect from myself. Here's the truth. Your mind believes what you tell it most often. If you repeat doubt, your mind will build a case for why you can't. If you repeat belief, your mind will start looking for reasons you can. It's that simple and that powerful. I've met people with incredible talent who never reach their potential, not because they lack skill, but because they rehearsed the wrong script every morning. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. They repeated it so often, it became their truth. But here's the good news. You can rewrite the script, and you can start today. Step 1. Choose words that match your vision. Your affirmation should describe the person you want to become, not the person you're trying to leave behind. If your vision is to be financially free, your affirmation might be, I am disciplined, focused, and wise with money. I create value and attract opportunities. Step 2. Speak them out loud. There's something powerful about hearing your own voice declare your intentions. It reinforces belief and makes it harder for doubt to sneak in unnoticed. Step 3. Say them with emotion. Don't just mumble them like a grocery list. Put conviction in your voice. Feel the words as if they're already true. The mind responds to intensity. Step 4. Repeat daily, especially in the morning. The morning is prime time for programming because your mind is fresh, undistracted, and open. Make affirmations part of your routine, right after you plan your day. When I first began using affirmations, I was skeptical. I thought, can saying a few sentences really change anything? But I noticed something over time. My words began shaping my expectations. My expectations shaped my actions, and my actions shaped my results. It wasn't magic, it was conditioning. Every day I was telling myself who I was and where I was going. And my mind responded by finding ways to make it happen. Think of it like a thermostat. If you set the thermostat in your home to 72 degrees, the system works to keep it there, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Your self-talk is your internal thermostat. If you set it low, you'll unconsciously pull yourself down. If you set it high, you'll find ways to rise up. And here's the beautiful thing. Affirmations don't just build wealth and money. They build wealth and confidence, in relationships, in influence, in peace of mind. Because they remind you daily that you are in charge of your identity, not the opinions of others. So tomorrow morning, take 5 minutes. Look in the mirror if you can. Speak your affirmations with purpose. Tell yourself the truth, not the truth of where you are, but the truth of where you're going. Because if you repeat the right words long enough, they'll stop sounding like hope and start sounding like reality. Remember, your mind is always listening. Make sure it hears something worth believing. Reflection and gratitude, the anchors of abundance. If there's one thing I've learned about success, it's this: wealth is not just built by what you do, it's sustained by what you remember. And that's where reflection and gratitude come in. These two habits are like anchors. Reflection keeps you from drifting too far off course. Gratitude keeps you from losing sight of the blessings you already have. Without them, you can end up chasing achievement while feeling empty, or worse, achieving success you don't even appreciate. Let's talk about reflection first. Reflection is simply the discipline of looking back before you move forward. It's asking yourself, what worked yesterday? What didn't? What did I learn? Most people never do this. They plow through each day without pausing to review the results. But the successful, they study their days like an investor studies the market. They look for patterns, clues, and lessons, because they know that the past is a teacher if you're willing to listen. Reflection in the morning doesn't have to take long. Just a few minutes with a journal, writing down what you learned from yesterday. Maybe you handled a conversation well. Maybe you could have managed your time better. The point isn't to dwell on mistakes. It's to extract the lessons so you don't repeat them. Now let's talk about gratitude. Gratitude is the great multiplier. Whatever you're thankful for, you get to keep, and often you get more of it. Whatever you take for granted, you risk losing. Here's what I've found. Gratitude in the morning changes the way you see the entire day. If you start your day focusing on what's missing, you'll spend your day looking for more lack. But if you start with what's working, you'll start spotting opportunities where others see problems. And gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. It's writing down 3 things you're thankful for. It's saying them out loud. It's telling someone you appreciate them before the day gets busy. It's the act of reminding yourself, I am already rich in ways that matter. Here's how you combine reflection and gratitude into a morning habit. Step 1. Review yesterday. Ask what went well. What could I improve? What lesson can I take into today? Write it down. Step 2. List 3 blessings, big or small. It doesn't matter. It could be your health, a relationship, a recent win, or simply the opportunity to try again today. Step 3. Speak them out loud. Hearing your own voice express gratitude reinforces the feeling and makes it more real. Step 4. Let gratitude shape your attitude. Use those blessings as fuel for the day ahead. Let them remind you that you're building from a place of abundance, not scarcity. When I began practicing reflection and gratitude daily, I noticed something unexpected. My stress went down. My clarity went up. And perhaps most importantly, I became more patient. I stopped trying to arrive overnight and started enjoying the process of becoming. And that's what gratitude does. It anchors you in the truth that you're already on solid ground. Even as you reach for higher levels, it's the balance between ambition and contentment. Without gratitude, ambition can feel like hunger. You can't satisfy. With gratitude, ambition becomes a joyful pursuit, not a desperate chase. So tomorrow morning, take a few minutes to look back with wisdom and look around with thanks. Remember, success without reflection can make you reckless, and success without gratitude can make you hollow. Keep both, and you'll have not just wealth in your bank account, but wealth in your spirit. Consistency over complexity. If there's one trap I see people fall into over and over, it's this. They think success is hidden inside some secret, complicated formula. They believe the right system, app, or method will suddenly unlock everything for them. But here's the truth. It's not complexity that builds a great life. It's consistency. Your millionaire morning routine doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to involve 30 steps, color-coded planners, or a schedule so strict you feel like you're living in a military base. No. The real magic is in doing the simple, powerful things every single day. Think about it. Reading for 20 minutes every morning isn't hard. Moving your body for 15 minutes isn't hard. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for isn't hard. Planning your top 3 priorities isn't hard. What's hard is doing it every day. See, most people start strong. They get excited about a new routine. For a week, maybe 2. They're up early, they're focused, they're energized, but then life throws a curveball. A late night, a busy morning, a bit of stress, and the habit is gone. The successful, they treat consistency like a contract with themselves. They understand that missing once can happen, but missing twice is the beginning of a new, unwanted pattern. Why does consistency beat complexity? Because repetition builds mastery. The more often you repeat the right actions, the deeper they sink into your identity. And once something becomes part of your identity, it stops feeling like effort. It starts feeling like you. Let me put it this way. Complex routines impress people for a moment. Consistent routines change you for a lifetime. Here's how to build consistency into your morning routine. Step 1. Start simple. Don't try to overhaul your life in one day. Begin with 2 or 3 core habits you know you can commit to, even on tough days. Step 2. Make it non-negotiable. Treat your morning routine like an important meeting with your future self, one you can't reschedule. Step 3. Track your streaks. Write it down, mark it off, or use a simple calendar to see your progress. Small wins stack into big confidence. Step 4. Plan for disruptions. Traveling, overslept. Have a minimum version of your routine ready. Even if it's 5 minutes, do something. Keep the chain unbroken. When I first learned the power of consistency, it was almost frustrating. I thought, really? That's it? Just do the same good things over and over. But then I watched what happened. My skills sharpened. My thinking deepened. My results multiplied. Not because I found something new every week, but because I kept doing what worked. And here's the secret. Consistency doesn't just make your habits stronger. It makes you stronger. You become the kind of person who follows through. You start trusting yourself. And that trust is worth more than any complicated system. So here's my advice. Don't waste time searching for a perfect routine that changes every season. Build a simple one you can do in every season. Then do it again and again and again. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't come to the person who does the most things. It comes to the person who does the right things, over and over, until they can't imagine living any other way. Consistency is the quiet force behind every great achievement. Protect it, honor it, and watch how the simple, repeated actions of your morning begin to shape the extraordinary story of your life. Protecting the routine, non-negotiables for success. By now, you've built a routine worth keeping. You've learned to wake with purpose, feed your mind, guard your quiet hour, move your body, learn from mentors, plan your day, program your self-talk, anchor yourself in gratitude, and keep it all consistent. But let me warn you, building the routine is only half the battle. The other half is protecting it. Why? Because life will try to steal it from you. The moment you create something valuable, the world starts testing how badly you want to keep it. Distractions will knock at the door. Emergencies, real and imagined, will demand your attention. People will call, text, and request just 5 minutes of your time. And if you're not careful, one small compromise turns into 2. And before you know it, the routine that gave you momentum is gone. That's why you must decide. This is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable means it happens whether you're tired or energized, whether you're home or traveling, whether the day ahead is easy or challenging. It means your routine isn't a suggestion. It's a standard. The most successful people I've met all have one thing in common. They protect the habits that built their success as fiercely as they protect their most valuable possessions. They treat their morning routine like oxygen. Without it, everything else suffers. Here are a few strategies for protecting your routine. 1. Communicate your boundaries. Let the people in your life know this is your time. It's not about shutting them out. It's about showing up better for them later because you took care of yourself first. 2. Prepare the night before. Set out your clothes. Line up your reading material. Have your journal ready. Eliminate excuses before they show up in the morning. 3. Have a travel or emergency version. Life happens, flights, hotels, early meetings. Create a condensed version of your routine. You can do anywhere in 10, 15 minutes. The goal isn't perfection, it's continuity. 4. Learn to say no. If an invitation or request will rob you of the time you've committed to your morning, decline it or reschedule it for later. You can't say yes to everything and still say yes to your own growth. 5. Recommit daily. Your routine is only as strong as today's decision to do it. Yesterday's discipline doesn't count for today. Every morning is a fresh opportunity to protect what matters. I remember early in my career, I let my routine get interrupted too easily. A late-night phone call, a breakfast meeting, a small crisis, and I'd skip the very habits that kept me sharp. And here's what I noticed. My productivity dipped, my focus faded, and my attitude slipped. It wasn't because I lost the ability. It was because I stopped doing the things that kept my ability alive. That's when I made the decision. My morning routine is not up for debate. It's not negotiable. It's the foundation on which I build my day, my week, my career, and my life. Here's the bottom line. If you protect your routine will protect you. It will protect your focus in a world full of noise. It will protect your energy in a world that drains it. It will protect your progress in a world that pulls people back into average. So starting tomorrow, put a fence around your mornings. Guard them like you'd guard your most valuable investment, because they are. And remember, habits that are easy to keep are rarely worth much. The ones worth keeping, you have to fight for them. Fight for your routine, and it will fight for your future. Run the morning, rule the day. So here we are. We've walked through every piece of the Millionaire morning routine, step by step, principle by principle. And if you've been listening closely, you've probably noticed something. It's not magic. It's not complicated. It's not a secret. It's simply the deliberate choice to start each day as the architect of your life, instead of the tenant. Because the truth is this, if you run the morning, you rule the day. And if you rule enough days in a row, you shape the course of your life. I've seen it too many times to doubt it. People who once drifted through their mornings began to take control of them, waking with purpose, feeding their mind, protecting their focus, moving their body, learning from mentors, planning with intention, speaking life into themselves, anchoring in gratitude, staying consistent, and protecting those habits like gold. And over time, something shifted. Their confidence grew, their decisions sharpened, their opportunities multiplied, their results compounded. Not because they stumbled upon luck, but because they took responsibility for the first chapter of their day, every single day. If you remember nothing else from this program, remember this: the way you start matters. You can't control everything that happens in a day, but you can control how you prepare for it. And preparation often determines the outcome. Think of your morning as the launch pad. If the launch is strong, the day has momentum before it even begins. If the launch is weak, you'll spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. So here's my challenge to you. Starting tomorrow, better yet, starting tonight, decide that your morning is yours. Not your phone's, not the news cycles, not anyone else's agenda. Yours. Decide that you will wake with purpose. Feed your mind before you feed your body. Protect the quiet hour. Move your body like you mean it. Spend time with great mentors through reading and reflection. Plan your day before the day plans you. Speak life into your mind with affirmations. Anchor yourself in gratitude. Choose consistency over complexity. Protect your routine like your future depends on it, because it does. Remember, your morning is the first vote you cast for the kind of life you want. Every day is a new election. Vote wisely. You don't have to change everything at once. Just start. Take one step tomorrow morning, then another the next day. And as you do, watch how the quality of your mornings transforms the quality of your life. And here's the most important part. Don't just run the morning when life is easy. Run it when you're tired. Run it when you're busy. Run it when you're tempted to let it slide. That's when it counts the most. Because in the end, the habits that shape your life are built in moments of decision. Moments when you say, no matter what, I keep my word to myself. So will you run the morning? Because if you do, you'll find yourself ruling more than the day. You'll be ruling your mind, your habits, your direction, and ultimately your destiny. Run the morning, and you'll run your life.